All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hibike Euphonium, Season 1, Episode 6.
They went to Sunfest and it went great.
They killed it.
Yep.
They did a fantastic job. Kumiko met up with a friend, Azusa, and it was kind of a little fun moment to remind us that this is a little bit sports anime.
Yep.
To be like, here are some of the other powerhouse schools just in general. Kitauji shows up and no one expects anything, and they actually do really well.
Despite being sandwiched between two powerhouse schools.
Exactly. So they stood out in a way that made them actually, turn some heads. And
who's this?
All right.
But speaking of who's this, Kosaka, she also did the hair flip thing. And yeah, if there was any doubt as far as how much Kumiko was going Doki Doki over Kosaka, that's all gone now.
I think the whole world essentially would have if they saw that.
Oh yeah, no.
They've just been like, wait, what?
Hold on just a second.
Excuse me?
Hi. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was just glorious to behold and wondrous, and I will never forget that to the end of my days.
Beautiful bit of Kyoani animation.
Yes, thank you. But this was the recent accomplishment, basically, to showcase that they were actually serious about nationals, and a couple of the people involved were still doing it as kind of a, well, stick it to you,
right?
Tough instructor guy. Yeah.
Kita.
Yeah, exactly. But just that being a thing of, okay, that's a good start now. But now
on to the next step.
Let's buckle down, go into the next step here, so that we'll be ready to actually take the competitions as they come seriously,
right?
Not just in the immediate, stick it to you,
Right.
And that should lead to hopefully better interactions in the group by group dynamics when they practice. Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. So, if you played an instrument, we talked about this before, but what would be your reason for playing it in addition to it being your instrument?
Well, okay, so if we're talking about within the wind ensemble,
in the wind ensemble,
I'd want to play saxophone.
Saxophone, I think we talked about that. Yeah.
And but if it was just any other instrument, it'd be piano.
Right.
What about you?
Because I just noticed that, I don't think they have actually necessarily a cello in the wind ensemble, do they?
Yeah, the closest thing would be the bass. The contrabass.
But even then, it's not really the same at all.
It's the same general style of instrument, just with more gusto.
I mean, but it doesn't actually... Oh, well, no, I guess you're right, but it's more of
because you can pluck and use the bow.
The bow, yeah. So I think then, for me, I don't know, actually. I'd have to think about that, yeah. Yes, regular school stuff.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we have the tournament arc set up here.
Wow.
They are literally the most underdog of underdogs. Then.
Yep.
Whoa.
Oh, for the different, instruments?
Oh, no. That means some of them who just aren't good will get...
But that might actually be good, because then the people who aren't as serious can then just,
Yes, but that's the awkward thing about it, is that
But now it's based on auditions.
Because it's that gap year.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
The cute metal sim demon! I love it. Okay.
Aww.
Oh.
Okay, some past stuff there.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
That shot.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
She's the meanie.
Yeah.
Don't be like the grasshopper, young grasshopper.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Ah.
Oh boy.
この曲は低音がいいんだよね。思った。やっぱり滝先生は本気で全国を狙っていると。
Right, with so many massive, kind of sweeping changes in the music, maybe it's just a thing of where Sunfests would look easy, like
by comparison,
like Child's Play comparison, yeah.
滝先生も意地悪だね。ねえねえ、久美子も吹ける？あそこまでは無理だけど、ありがとうございます。UFO 始めたのいつって言ってたっけ？小4からです。それはそのつくか。個人で行ってくるね。
Oh no.
Yeah, never mind that. Yeah.
Feels embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly.
まずは一つ一つ狙った音をしっかり出すことを心がけて。
Oh no! No, yeah. I think that's fine. Yeah. Maintenance? Oh no! You haven't been cleaning it? Oh no!
Wow, that's. Oh boy.
This is my tuba cabra.
Yeah.
The overly attached, passion regarding it.
Oh yeah, Kumiko, remember when you actually liked the youth?
Oh. Oh no. Ah! Oh.
ソロもあるから。ソロやるつもりなの？わからないけど、滝先生、ソロもオーディションで決めるって言ってたでしょ。
Wow, practicing ahead of time.
上手だね。先輩の中ではね、ハイトーンも綺麗に出せるし、川坂さんらしいね。大前さんらしいね。仕返し？そうかも。
All right, so she's got her own rival.
Ah! The two-second Yuho!
Yeah.
Oh, backstory.
だから上手くなりたいチューバは。
Yeah.
緑感動しました。これ食べていいですよ。
Yeah.
With hope, positivity, and hard work.
And some green tea ice cream.
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh, they both have little notebooks out.
Yeah.
地味であまり目立たないところばかり吹く割には息がつらい、苦しい、いいところ。
Yeah.
なぜかチューバのせいってよく。
Oh my god, wait.
But I'm the only one who understands them.
Masochist or something, like.
チューバのいいところっていうのはな、いいところがないところだ。
先輩。
いいところがないのに一生懸命頑張る。その気持ちが分かれば、お前も立派なチューバ吹きだ。
Ah.
今の。
But it doesn't really make much sense. Yeah.
愛と自信が大切ってことだよ。どんな簡単なことでも完璧にできると嬉しいもんでしょう。
Okay.
まずはできるって感覚と喜びを味わってから。ほら、できてるじゃない。
Oh.
何？だって簡単じゃないですか。テンポも遅いし、見てわかりませんか？加トちゃんのくせに生意気だ。
Slacker.
Oh no.
What does that mean?
Oh no.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, it's funny.
Liar, yeah. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yes. Yes. Well, because it's auditions and they want to play
Yeah.
together and
Oh.
yeah. Yeah.
でも合唱で他のパートと音が合わさったらさ
And the part that you played. Yeah.
Yeah.
少し照れくさくて
Oh.
Goto. Yeah.
Oh.
She missed out.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Right.
And hearing it all come together. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Who says that?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Nice. And then it goes into the really complicated part.
Ugh.
Yes.
Oh, they got it.
All right.
Ah.
Cool. Aww.
Even though she can't play it at home.
Maybe she can.
I mean, even though she's discouraged from playing it at home.
Right.
I love how she has to walk
She has
backwards.
to back up.
Beep, beep, beep. Tuba Cabra coming through. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Oh, no! No! Oh! Don't scare me like that!
Doki doki.
そっかオーディション頑張ろうな
So she just comes to school really early. Like, that's awesome.
Oh.
次の曲が始まるのです
Because she can see that she's really trying.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's really interesting. This ED kind of feels like an OP in a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
Except they're walking instead of running, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But that first part in the beginning there actually reminded me a bit of the Bacano OP.
I know.
They're like passing an item around,
Oh,
you know?
oh,
and
sure,
it
yeah.
zooms in and out of the item to transition to someone else holding it.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
hadn't thought about that. Okay.
All right.
So we got some really good stuff this episode, even though it is very much sort of like a transition. Okay, let's set up the stage for
nationals.
The path to nationals.
Or just the
Yep.
past the nationals. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
But we went into a couple main things here that I want to talk about. One is the general idea of the competing against each other, right? The tryouts and all of that stuff.
Auditions, yeah.
Right, the auditions, but then the potential embarrassment if you need to practice something and you're not very good at it, and doubly so if you feel like you should be.
Yeah, because you're a third year or a second year, just not a first year, basically. So,
Yep.
one of the things that we've seen in other anime is that this is a cultural thing. This is something that primarily
Sure.
is something that if you are a third year, you're kind of expected that you'll sometimes just get a slot.
Yeah, the
basically.
seniority kind of thing.
Yeah, the seniority is a thing. It is very much a, well, yeah, you can just kind of deal with it first years. You know, you're not, you're not headed
Right.
out on your
Exactly.
on
This
your
is
next year.
this is our last year here. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of, social pressure to basically kind of back off and let the third years have their last hurrah before, they end up going into the workforce and,
Right.
dealing with the
or university,
the horrors of adult life.
Right.
But every once in a while, first years come along that have not only, I would say, talent, but the desire to improve in the middle of their first year, like rather quickly.
Yep.
And if our main girls here are the ones that are going to, at the very least, be trying that at different levels of talent, with Kosaka, they're definitely very much near the top, and then Sapphire, much up there as well.
Midori-chan.
Yeah, exactly. I really, really like the idea that Hazuki, the one who was like, no, I was a tennis player. Like, I'm just doing this because it's something different, is the one that needs to understand and come to grips with what that looks like, and then also have her own little moment where she realizes, no, I'm passionate about this. Right, I'm just trying a new thing, because that won't pass her through the auditions.
No. And because the previous episode and that awesome moment we had for all our characters, she actually didn't get to share in that.
Yeah.
Not in the same way.
I love that they called that out. They're like, wait a minute. She hasn't played in any of the ensembles. It's like, really? Hasn't she? Sunfest? It's like, no, she was with the pom-poms. It's like, oh, then the practice? Shoot. No, she was a beginner, so she stayed out of that.
Well,
we gotta fix that,
right?
And they made their own little little thing just for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's
yeah.
Oh my god, that was
great.
That was sweet.
That was wonderful.
Yep.
Because especially for something like the tuba, because I understand what the other tuba players were saying. Is like, hey, because it's a very difficult, sort of unloved instrument, then it makes it feel very satisfying when you're the one that kind of brings it to life, right? Like, even though, they had their different ways of communicating that. And
totally.
But if you're then doing all the drills for this difficult, unwieldy instrument and everything that doesn't sound great on its own...
It's a monster.
Yeah. And you haven't actually seen how important it is to the, overall, ensemble.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be kind of hard to find the motivation, especially if you feel like you're not very good at it.
Yeah, it's no guitar. It's no trumpet,
right. Yeah, or piano or something like that.
It doesn't sound necessarily like it's this thing that just takes over the airspace on its own,
Right.
It's...
Yep. So exciting.
Yeah,
so exciting.
Exactly. But the idea of having something that is the foundation for the lower notes in general and the ensemble, that's just awesome. That's badass. That's why I really like the idea of the contrabass being something that that Sapphire uses, and that's just wonderful. I love it, and yet. Oh no! There's a whole ensemble within just the bass side of things as well. So we need a tuba in this as well.
And I think that makes it just even more clear how awesome it is that Asuka is this sort of passionate leader of the bass section.
Right.
Because the bass section is probably the last place that people would choose to go. If they weren't already playing an instrument, it's like, yes, let's play in the bass section. Let's play in the section that doesn't really stand out too much and is just kind of needs to be there.
Yeah, you only notice it if they're not doing their job right.
Right, or if they're playing by themselves.
So exactly. So you get basically the opportunity to be the building blocks upon which the rest of the ensemble will
shine.
Shine, but you don't necessarily shine out to the average person like me. Like when I'm probably listening to an wind ensemble play. The first 3 instruments I'm playing, none of them are probably the bass instruments. Sorry, did I say playing? I meant to say listening.
No, listening to. Yeah. It's like
hearing.
Oh wow, that tuba player's just really killing it. Yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah, that's not probably going to be how it goes.
No, probably not. No.
Yeah. But then the other thing that we got this episode that kind of goes in parallel with that is the little bit of backstory with Kumiko. And it was just for 2 seconds.
Brief memory.
Yep, brief memory.
Yep.
But it might help explain some of Kumiko's temperament and the way she approaches, wind ensemble and things like that. Because apparently there was someone that seemed to be rather upset with how she was doing things. You're trying to make me look dumb.
I think it was a third year or a senpai of some kind that just wasn't performing as well as she was. And she was trying to bully Kumiko to get... her to back off.
Crabs in a pot, stop doing so well.
Yep.
Yep.
Which apparently, if she was playing the euphonium from 4th grade, which I loved the fact that they showed her remembering that with this fondness, because what she also remembered was the idea of there being a point when she realized that she wasn't that good at it. Meaning, like, when she went into probably the people that, were, doing competitions, or not competitions, but just playing with others and stuff like that in 4th or 5th grade, there were probably other people there that were playing since 2nd grade.
Sure.
And she's like,
okay,
I'm not actually that good. But hey, she kept playing it.
Yep.
And unless, she's not telling us something, she kept playing it from 4th grade all the way till now.
All the way to now.
And that's dedication to stick with one instrument, even though now she's not really as big of a fan of it, which might be hinting at some more backstory that we haven't gotten yet. But there's a whole lot you can gain from that, especially from the idea that came from her sister.
Yes, and there's also the idea that even though she wasn't didn't think, for instance, in the previous year that she was going to be able to go to nationals, right? She wasn't playing for that.
Yeah.
She's still good. She's still good at what she's doing. Yeah. She might not be as good as Asuka, right? But those years since, those 7 years that she spent playing, from what we've gathered, it doesn't seem like those were sort of just lazy years,
No.
Like just sort of, idly passing the time, I guess I'm playing this instrument, Like maybe there was a little bit in there, but...
Yeah, it might have been the thing of where she didn't practice, a majority of the days that she spent those, years of playing or what have you. It might have been a thing of where it was like, I practice, the week before competitions and stuff. And I kept my abilities above average so that I could play everything by sight. And that's, more than enough of what you'd need probably in order to be in an ensemble. And then it's just a question of, did she kind of stay or did she focus on improving and digging in during that time? We'll just have to find out over the course of performances and stuff.
Probably not with as much fire as Kosuka, but
definitely not.
But if that person was a senpai specifically talking about how she was making her look dumb with regards to playing the youth, then
it might have killed a little bit of that.
Bit of that fire and that desire, which would then explain even more why, when it came to transitioning to high school, she's like, I want to play literally anything but
else.
The youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What it might also be is something where, when we looked at how the sister kind of responded and was like, hey, please don't practice in here.
Oh, it's noisy. Yeah.
It's noisy, yeah. And it was something that I thought was kind of interesting just in general, because if her sister was the one that actually started and gave her the inspiration to play, means that her sister quit at some point.
Right.
And
probably
what it might be, and something that's just kind of interesting, is that the sister might have some kind of built up resentment regarding the idea of the euphonium being played because it's not coming from her.
Right.
So it's irritating to hear an instrument that you gave up on being played probably better, actually, at this point, than she does.
Well,
now, that's I would say, something that doesn't necessarily have to be the case.
Right, but it makes a lot of sense if they decide to have that happen. The only, I haven't really played any instruments, so I don't really know much about that, but I can tell you, whenever I would be, with writing groups and things like that, that would definitely be a thing that would happen, where if there was someone that was sort of, not really, there were regrets that they had with regards to how they pursued writing, basically.
Sure.
And then someone else is, going at it whole hog. Yeah, there's some bad feelings there. But yeah.
Oh, so that actually ties really well into the idea of the audition side of things, because while Nakagawa doesn't seem to be the kind of person that would bully Kumiko in the slightest bit.
Nope.
Don't think so at all. Also, Asuka would whoop her ass.
We've seen how terrifying Asuka can be. We saw that this episode.
She came in there and was like,
and that wasn't with them, being saying anything they really shouldn't have or something.
No,
that
it was just
showing
I don't know if I'm good enough.
Yeah,
and then he's just
I'll fix that.
Yes. Right. If you don't feel like you're good enough, then you must not be practicing.
Right. But the idea of being these first years, I don't I don't want to practice with them because I'm not good enough. And okay, so you've been playing for 7 years. That makes sense why you're so much better, right? Like that feeling in general is just icky. Like that's just that's not fun. On top of the fact that this is your last year, and like in general, I wouldn't want to play instruments in front of people anyways, especially if I was like not good and practicing and things like that. The fact that they do it because they're in an ensemble together, right? They're in the bass section together. That's them being quite vulnerable, right?
Totally.
Because it's hey, I'm going to give this truly my best shot, and you guys are going to regularly see how bad it is, right? How it is not up to snuff yet, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to trust that you guys won't judge me and stuff as I keep giving it my all.
That's not easy.
That's not easy. Like, it's a lot easier if you were to just sort of like, just sort of mess around and play casually, right? Because then you're not actually, nothing risked, nothing gained, right?
Yep.
And so
True.
Nothing risked, nothing lost.
Yep, exactly.
So when she left, it's like, oh man, I totally feel you, girl. Like that's
Yikes.
Yeah.
But here we are. Here we are. We are probably going to get auditions in the next episode or in the episode after that, but probably pretty soon. I really liked the way that everyone kind of came around the idea of him being the cute or the meddlesome demon. What was it?
Right.
The sexy but meddlesome demon. Something like that.
Something around those lines, yeah.
It just works so well because the stuff that we get from the other characters who notice these kinds of things about Taki and that he's that's what he's making us audition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice stuff there. Because I don't think I've ever actually had a hobby skill mentor coach of anything like that where they were actually a workhorse or they were a taskmaster where they actually kind of pushed me to go far beyond my limits.
Right.
Because almost every single time it would be something where I either wouldn't have the mentor, kind of coach person in that regard, or if I was, if I did have them, they were more trying to catch up everyone who wasn't actually serious about it. And I really feel like I missed out as a kid on the, hey, this is the bar. I will help you reach the bar, but if you don't want to reach this bar, then I won't help you.
Right.
And that just culture, I think, and stuff like that is just something we don't really have as much over here.
Yeah.
Because there's just in general.
Because there's definitely the the costs associated with it, right?
Yeah.
It's new devils basically, right? But yeah, it's
totally.
But when it's done well, I feel like that is something that can be so helpful, especially for young people where they're kind of they have all this energy and passion and things like that, but they're searching for purpose, direction. Yeah, exactly. So to have someone that basically comes along and says, "I'll help you hone that," but it's not going to be easy.
I'm going to expect a lot out of you.
I'm going to expect a lot out of you. So it's that sense of like responsibility and ownership, but also realizing what you're capable of.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's kind of.
I'm not talking like whiplash here, y'all. I'm talking about like just basic level like. Here is the bar. Like, we need you to perform at this level. Bring into this. This is some, not my tempo,
Right. I was thinking of Whiplash
like,
too.
Literally like the same thing. But
right.
But I just really want them to experience that in this show.
Yeah.
And see how they react to that. Because when we had Aoi come in at the end.
Yes.
And she was like, lucky. I thought about that and I was like, well, wait, what? Why is she lucky?
Right.
Is it because she has an instrument that she likes that very few other people like, so it'll be easier for her? Maybe.
I don't think that's what it is.
Is it something with regards to the spirit, the friends that she has going on with this? Is it the mindset?
Yeah, it's the mindset, I think. Because
really?
Well,
yeah,
okay.
Just that.
So when I was writing battle lines, there were people who had that kind of similar take. Of lucky. Like and
it's so
no. But it wasn't necessarily wholly a negative thing, right? Because there's the aspect of like discounting the hard work that's being put in or whatever. But no. But then there's the other side of it. The wishing. Oh, I wish so much that I could put in the hard work like you do.
Yeah. You know what it is with Aoi is she's got the extra schools and stuff, the extra classes and stuff. She doesn't have the time or the energy.
Oh, sure.
So she does have time, but doesn't have as much time.
Sure.
And that is something that is factually accurate. However, what she spends with the rest of her day, I don't know. So I don't know really if she doesn't have enough time to do something about it. But it is something to where we know, based on what was given to us before in the show, that she is doing a lot of extra stuff with school.
Yes.
So it is something where she probably feels like Kumiko is lucky in that regard.
I feel like a lot of the stuff that happens in this show revolving around like the whole idea of playing seriously versus playing for fun stems from this notion of the characters facing the consequences of their actions, whatever they are, right? Whether it's to practice or not, or, take it seriously or not, right? And so seeing someone that ends up making that tough decision, whether it's because of a bunch of outside influence that they then rise to the occasion for,
Kosuka wants to really go,
or Kosuka is just really self-motivated. Either way, it's something where then the consequence of that, the response of that, the cause and effect, result is there, and people can see it, right? Yeah. And then for people like Nakagawa, the cause and effect is there, and she can see it, and everyone else can see it, and she's like, shit. Well, now I just feel terrible, because it's like how weak-willed was I that I didn't actually ever apply myself over these years, you know? And then, okay, so you were doing it for 7 years, I guess. Okay, that's why. All right, but I'm still gonna practice somewhere else.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that it's so important for Hazuki to get that kind of experience playing with the rest of them with the tuba, because then it actually gives a purpose to all the hard work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. She has the passion.
Yeah, she has the
and
passion,
she has
right.
the friends to help when her passion is low.
Exactly. She has no shortage of passion, but passion will only get you so far if you don't get something, tangible that you can latch onto as a result of the passions applied.
Yeah, passion will get you in the door, but it won't keep you from getting kicked out.
Right. Yeah. It might work for a spell, but it's not limitless. So
yeah. Exactly. But y'all, good show, good stuff. You want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now? Go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Yeah, all the info for that's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see it there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.